Brothers and sisters, take note of this. It is our last day of Math with Miss Sheehan, our last math lesson of the year. Wow, that went kind of quick, huh? So, why don't you grab your Learn book and we will head to page 93. Now, today's lesson is going to be a little different than you're used to, and you're thinking, wow, that's actually like a lot of pages that you want us to be doing, Miss Sheehan. Don't worry, because a lot of it is pictures, which you can color in if you'd like, but you don't have to. Okay, so on page 93, it says write the time and circle AM or PM. So it looks like you're waking up in the morning. What would you say? What time is it? I want you to look to see what time is it. So the hour hand is between the 6 and the 7. Hook it back. Even if you want to do it with your pencil, that would be great. That's what I did. So it is going to be 6 something, right? And then we have to find out our minute hand. So go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Did you get 6:30? Me too. All right, so if we're waking up, do you think that's AM or PM? AM, right? So here is what my first page looks like. And then if you want, you can pause and you can color it. I'm going on to the next page. You can join me whenever you're ready. All right, the next page is page 94. Here we go. It says write the time, and it looks like this person is eating some breakfast. What's your favorite thing to have for breakfast? Did you say eggs and bacon? Me too. Okay, so looking at this clock, we need to figure out what time it is. So look down for the shorthand, the hour hand first, and trace it with your pencil. Hook back. It's between the 6 and the 7, right? So we'll hook it back to 6, and then we can count by 5s to find the minute hand. Now, if you want my shortcut, start at the 6, which is 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Did you get 6:50? Me too. And since they're still eating breakfast, do you think it's going to be AM or PM? AM is correct. There we go, 6:50. Awesome work. If you want to color this page, that is just fine. I'm going to be going on to page 95 next, and that is where it looks like somebody is getting on the school bus to go to school. Don't you wish we were getting on school buses? So let's see what time this is. So first look at your shorthand, the hour hand. Ooh, do you notice it's between the 7 and the 8? So with my pencil, I'm going to draw a line and hook it back to the last hour. What hour is that? 7, right? Great. Then you're going to see if you can skip count by 5s to get all the way to the 3. So you'd go 5, 10, 15, 7:15. Great, that's what I got too. Now, do you think this is going to be AM or PM, getting on the school bus? AM, right? So, this is what my page looks like. Once you're done, you can color or not, and you can go to the next page. So the next page, it looks like this is when school starts. I'm going to give you a hint. It's the same time as our school starts. So look at the hour hand, okay? You are going to hook it back to the hour. It looks like it's right on 8, right? So it's still going to be 8. And then it makes sense because look at the minute hand. It only goes to 5. 8:05. 8:05. That's when our school starts too, okay? Now, do you think this is going to be AM or PM? AM, right? So, this is what my page looks like. Awesome. Okay, the next page says, it looks like those kids are eating lunch, right? So let's check and see what time they eat lunch. So I'm going to look at my hour hand first, and I notice that it's between the 11 and the 12, right? So with your pencil, draw a line, and hook it back to the last hour. What is that? 11, right? Great. So my hour is 11, and then I need to skip count by fives to get me all the way down to that 5. So let's count that together, okay? So we just say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So 11:25. Great. And do you think this is AM or PM? AM, right? So they're eating lunch at 11:25 AM. Great job. Flip to the next page. Page 98. Okay, so now it looks like she just is getting off the bus and she's getting home from school. So you might even be able to figure out, wait, what time do I normally get back from the bus? Okay, I know it's a little different now. You don't even have to get on the bus. But if you look, the hour hand, it kind of points to right between the 3 and the 4, right? So let's hook it back. What hour is that going to be? 3, great. And then let's skip count by fives to get to the 4. So we'll say 5, 10, 15, 20. Did you get 3:20? Awesome. Do you think that's going to be AM or PM? Oh, this is different. PM, right? It's in the afternoon. It's after noon. So this is what mine looks like. Of course, you can stop to color. You can pause. When you're ready to go on to the next one, just unpause me. All right, the next one. Ooh, it looks like they're eating. Is that spaghetti? I love spaghetti. Do you? What's your favorite meal? Okay, so we're going to see what time they eat dinner. So let's look first at the short hour hand. To me, it looks like it's between the 5 and the 6, right? So let's hook it back to 5, and then let's skip count by fives all the way to the 45. Now, you can start at the 12 and do it the whole way. Otherwise, if you want my shortcut, start at the 6. That's 30, right? Then you can say 35, 40, 45. So this would be 5:45. And do you think it's going to be AM or PM? PM, right? In the afternoon or evening. And this would be in the evening. Great job. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, oh, looks like she's getting ready for bed. Does that make anyone feel tired? No? None of you? Okay, just me. All right, so let's see what time she goes to bed. So I can see that the hour hand, that's what we're looking at first, is between the 8 and the 9. So we're going to hook it back to 8, right? And then we can skip count by fives to get to our minute hand. Or you could do my shortcut, start at the 30, the 6. So that would be 35, 8:35. Did you guys get that? Great job. Now, do you think it would be 8:35 a.m. or 8:35 p.m.? p.m. Great. This is what your page should look like. If you want a moment to color that in, feel free. And then I am going to be reading our problem solver next. So when you're all ready, you can pause me, you can unpause me when you're ready to go on to problem solver. Okay? All right, so problem solver, it's on page 101, and it says, on Saturdays, Jean may only watch cartoons for 1 hour. Let's stop. How long is an hour? How many minutes? Do you remember? 60, right? I'm going to draw just 60 above that word 1 hour so I remember that, lock it in my mind. Okay? It says, her first cartoon lasts 14 minutes. That might be important. I'm going to circle 14 minutes. Did you circle yours? And the second one lasts 28 minutes. That might be important too. Let's circle 28. After a 5-minute break, Jean watches a 15-minute cartoon. Circle 15 minutes. Here's the question. How much time does Jean spend watching cartoons? Did she break her time limit? Okay, so we need to figure out how much time she spent watching cartoons and if she went over 60 minutes, okay? So let's add some of these numbers together first. So the first one that I saw was 14 minutes for a cartoon and 28 minutes. So I'm going to make myself a T-chart, and I'm going to write 14 plus 28, okay? So 14 plus 28, you might have to do a little exchange, just so you know, okay? Then, whatever your answer was, then you're going to add 15 to that. So you're going to make yourself a second T-chart, okay? And in that T-chart, you're going to have your answer plus 15 minutes, okay? So, whatever your answer is there, that is going to help us with this problem. So, if your answer is less than 60 minutes, she is good. She did not break her time limit. If that number is like 62, 67, 70, anything over 60, she broke her time limit, okay? So check to see if she did okay or if she didn't, okay? All right. Once you're done, tournez la page to page 103. I know, it's a lot of pages, but we're all in this together. Plus, it's almost like you're almost a third grader. Oh, I can't believe that. So weird to think about. You guys will still come visit me next year, right? Right? You better. All right. The next thing is talking about a fancy word called elapsed time. Can you say that? Elapsed time. It's a fancy way to say how much time has gone by. So if I start my timer and I say, oh, well, that took 5 seconds. That is how much time has elapsed, okay? So it means the same as how much time has passed. So that's what we're going to figure out today. And we're going to figure it out with some hours and some minutes. So the first one says, on letter A, from 6:30 to 7 o'clock. Okay? So what I'm going to do on my fancy clock is I'm going to do 6:30. Just like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start counting all the way, until I get to 7 o'clock and see how much time has passed, okay? So count with me here. So we'll say 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 minutes has passed. Write down 30. And if you don't want to write down the whole thing for minutes, do you know the short version? M-I-N, period. Great. Okay. Now, the next one. For this one, you don't even probably need the clock, okay? So it says how much time has passed between 4 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So I think to myself, let's start counting hours. What comes after 4 o'clock? 5 o'clock. Then what? 6, 7, 8, 9. Ha! Hey, how much time has elapsed? 5 hours. That's what you're going to write on number 2. 5 hours. H-O-U-R-S. Do you know the short version? H-R-S, period. All right. Next one. Letter C says 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. How much time has elapsed? When it's just hours like this, you can just count them. You don't even have to worry about your clock, okay? So 11 o'clock, what comes next? 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. How many hours has passed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hours. That is what you're going to write on letter C. 6 hours. You can do the short version. 6 HRS, period. The next one says D, 3:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. So for this one, we can actually still skip count by hours. We can say after 3:30, it would be 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. How many hours is that? 7, right? 7 hours. 7 HRS, period. Great work. All right, now this next one, it starts at 7 p.m. and it goes until 1:30 a.m. That's a long time. Let's see how long it is. Okay, so 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Oh, I can't get to 2. So it would be 6 hours. And to get from 1 o'clock to 1:30 would be 30 minutes, right? So I would say 6 hours and 30 minutes. 6 hours, HRS, period, and 30, MIN, period. 6 hours and 30 minutes. Great. All right. Now, on the bottom, I thought I was going to need my analog clock. I might not even. On the bottom it says, you need to figure out the difference in time, how much time has elapsed. So look at letter F. What time is that first clock say? We have to know that first, and we're going to write it down, okay? So look at the hour, the shorthand. Draw your line down and hook it. What hour is that? It's between the 7 and the 8, right? So let's hook it back to 7. So write a 7 down. And then let's figure out the minutes. So it says 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right? So 7:30. Write down 7:30. That will really help you. And then we're going to look and see on the next clock what the time is, okay? So look down there. It looks like the hour, it's between the 12 and the 1. So let's draw a line and hook it back. What hour is it? 12, right? And then to find out the minutes, we'd see 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 12, 30. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have to find how much time has gone by from 7:30 p.m., 7:30 at night, until 12:30 a.m., which is like the middle of the night. Okay, so 7:30. What's one more hour after that? 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. How many hours? 5, right? Write that down. 5 hours. We're going to do the same thing for letter G. So we are going to look and see what time it is a.m. and then what time it is p.m. Did you notice anything weird here? Do these clocks look like they're the same time, except one is in the morning and one's at night? Oh my. Okay, so what hour is it pointing to? 6. And then no minutes, so 6 o'clock, right? So, okay, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So I had 10 and 2 more. 10 plus 2 is 12? 12 hours. 12 hours for letter G. That's a long time, isn't it? All right, the last one we're going to do is letter H. And believe it or not, it might be a little bit longer. Okay, so let's look first at that first clock. It says the hour hand, it's between the 7 and the 8, right? So let's draw a line and hook it back. What hour would it be? 7, right? And then you can skip count by 5s for your minutes. So we'd say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So write down 7:30 below that first clock, okay? Then on the second one, let's see what hour it is. So I'm looking at the hour hand and I see it's between the 1 and the 2. So I'm going to draw my line there and I'm going to hook it back to what hour? 1 o'clock, right? Great. Then I'm going to try and figure out my minute hand. So I'm going to say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 1:30 a.m. And we started at 7:30 a.m. Okay, so let's start at 7:30 a.m. and let's count all the way to 1:30 a.m. Okay, so 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. Do we stop? This is p.m., not a.m. 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. So 10, lock that in your mind. 6:30. Oh no. What did I do? I have to start over. I already forgot where I was. So 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. So we had 10 plus 5 is 15, plus 3, 18. 18 minutes. 18 hours. That's almost a whole day. Do you know how many hours is in a day? How many? 24. Yeah, that was like almost a whole day. Okay, turn the page. This is our last page. Our last math page of second grade. Here we go. All right, A. Tracy arrives at school at 7:30 a.m. Write down 7:30 a.m. Okay? Then make yourself a little arrow. It's kind of like the arrow way. She leaves school at 3:30 p.m. I'm just going to circle 3:30 p.m. so I don't forget. Then it says, how long is Tracy at school? Okay, so what I'm going to do for this is just like when I'm doing these, you can also do it with some tally marks. So every time we say a new hour, I want you to draw one tally mark, okay? So let's start at 7:30. Okay, now every time I put up a finger, you draw a tally mark, okay? So 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. 3:30 is when she left, right? So we have 5 and 3. How many hours? 8, right? 8 hours. Did you get that on your tally marks? Great job. Okay, the next one on letter B, it says Anna spent 3 hours at dance practice. I'm just going to circle that 3 hours. I have a feeling it's going to be important. She finishes at 6:15 p.m. I'm also going to circle 6:15 p.m. What time did she start? Sounds like we're going to do, this is like a backwards problem. Okay, so what we're going to do is write 6:15 on your piece of paper. And we have to go back in our minds 3 hours to see when she started. Okay, so 6:15. Okay, so then we'd say 5:15, 4:15, 3:15. Is that 3 hours? Yes. Okay, so write down 3:15. That is when she started her dance practice. Great work. All right, letter C says Andy finished baseball practice at 4:30 p.m. Guess what I'm going to do? Circle 4:30 p.m. It's probably going to be important. Then it says his practice was 2 hours long. Wow, seems like a pretty long practice. What time did his practice start? Okay, so that's when it ended. So we're going to do this backwards thing again, right? So write down 4:30, and then in our minds, we're going to have to think backwards. So like lower numbers, right? So if it was 4:30, what's 1 hour before 4:30? 3:30, right? What's 1 hour less than 3:30? 2:30. 2:30 is when it started. So 2:30 is what you're going to be writing down. Great job. And letter D is talking about Marcus. Marcus took a road trip. Fun. He left on Monday at 7 o'clock a.m. Let's stop. On our piece of paper, write a M for Monday, and by it, write 7 o'clock. Great. Then it says he drove from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. Whoa, it's a long time, right? So make yourself a little arrow. You're going to be doing some tally marks, and we're going to see how many hours he was driving on that road trip, okay? So he started at 7 a.m. in the morning, and he went until 4 p.m. So let's try that. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Are you doing your tally marks? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many tally marks did you get? Did you get 9? I got 9 too. All right, so put 9 hours there. That was on Monday. Now we're going to see how much he did on Tuesday, okay? So Tuesday, it says on Tuesday, Marcus drove from 6 o'clock a.m. to 3:30 p.m. So write a T for Tuesday and draw yourself an arrow. And then do 6 o'clock. That's when he started. Okay? All right, now we have to do tally marks from 6 o'clock all the way to 3:30. Okay, so 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Oh, can we do any more hours? No, they only went till 3:30. Well, let's try the hours first. So I had 5 and 4, which is what? 9, and then just half an hour, right? So 9 and 1/2 hours. Hey, 1/2, that's kind of like fractions, right? So you're going to write a 9 and a 1/2 for 1/2. 9.5 hours. That is a long time to be in the car. Miss Sheehan, no good at road trips. Maybe you are. All right, so 2nd grade, you have now completed your last math activity for 2nd grade. Congratulations.